One of the most followed and complex political stories in state history has come to an end today.
Earlier today, the South Dakota State Senate voted to remove Attorney General Jason Ravnsborg from office on 2 separate charges and ultimately ban him from running for office in South Dakota ever again. Our State House reporter Austin Goss has been on this story since it broke in September of 2020. He brings us the top story tonight from Pierre.
The night of September 12, 2020 was an otherwise ordinary day, filled with mundane moments that through a series of tasks and choices ended in tragedy. It was a response to those moments and the ones that followed, those failed opportunities to do the right thing by Attorney General Jason Ravnsborg, that bring us here today.
On 2 separate charges, the South Dakota Senate voted to convict Attorney General Jason Ravnsborg and ultimately remove him from office. The first charge, dealing specifically with the crash, passed by 1 vote.
The question having received a 2/3 majority vote of the members elect, the Attorney General of the state of South Dakota is convicted of the first article of impeachment and removed from the office of Attorney General.
The second, dealing more with Ravnsborg's conduct in the aftermath, passed by a much wider margin. Initially, many speculated that the vote on the second charge would be the closer of the 2. But it was the testimony of former DCI agent Brent Gromer that helped push the second charge. Gromer, an expert in cell phone forensics, alleged that Ravnsborg improperly met with him in 2020 to discuss what would happen with his phones after he turned them over to law enforcement.
He wanted to ask me about evidence that could be recovered from a cellular telephone.
Was there any pretense that this was about him educating himself on the activities of your unit?
No.
Or a criminal case in which the state of South Dakota was prosecuting?
No.
Ravnsborg's legal team pointed to various allegations made by law enforcement officers early on that turned out to be false. Additionally, they argued that the bar to impeach was too high for the charges. However, the arguments were not enough to convince the 1/3 of the Senate that they needed to avoid the charges, ultimately removing Ravnsborg from office and barring him from running for anything in the state again.
And if the defense is, I was not a distracted driver, then there's a way bigger set of facts here we should be thinking about, because that means this person ran down that family, friend, or neighbor at highway speeds, seeing them right in front of them, put their head through the windshield. They were on the vehicle for a couple of seconds before the body rolls off and says, I hit something.
I caught up with Ravnsborg after the proceedings ended to get his reaction, but both him and his legal team declined to comment. The House and the Senate will both be in session Wednesday morning to wrap up the impeachment special session. In Pierre, Austin Goss, Dakota News Now.
We can tell you that Governor Noem took to Twitter after the decision, saying after nearly 2 years, the dark cloud over the Attorney General's office has been lifted. It is now time to move on and begin to restore confidence in the office.